Once in a quiet Midwestern town in Ohio, there lived a teenage boy named Ethan Miller. Ethan was 16 years old. Tall for his age and full of ambition, more than anything, he dreamed of becoming a software engineer someday. He imagined creating apps that could help people learn, work, and connect more easily. But Ethan had one serious problem. He could never focus. Every afternoon after school, Ethan would sit at his desk with his laptop open and his homework pulled up. He promised himself he would concentrate, but after just a few minutes, his attention would drift. A notification would pop up on his phone, his eyes would move to the screen, one message led to another. Then to social media, then to videos. Before he knew it, an hour was gone and his homework was still unfinished. Ethan's father, Mark Miller, worked as a delivery driver. He left the house before sunrise and often came home exhausted. His boots dusty and his shoulders sore. He didn't complain much, but every evening he noticed the same thing: Ethan sitting at his desk, surrounded by books yet making no progress. It worried him deeply. A distracted mind doesn't get you anywhere, Mark would say, trying to sound firm, though his concern showed in his eyes. He didn't want his son to struggle the way he had. Ethan's mother, Rachel, worked part-time at a local grocery store. She was warm, patient, and endlessly supportive. She often dealt with back pain and fatigue, but she never let it dim her kindness. "He's smart," she would say softly. "He just hasn't found his focus yet." Every night she hoped her son would find his way. Weeks passed like this. At school, Ethan struggled. Teachers called on him and his mind went blank. Other students whispered or laughed. Ethan felt embarrassed and frustrated with himself. One afternoon, his mother asked him to drop off a package at the post office. "Less than a mile away. It shouldn't take more than 15 minutes, she said. Ethan agreed and headed out, but on the way he stopped. A group of teens were gathered outside a convenience store, laughing and scrolling on their phones. Someone showed him a viral video, then another. Time slipped away. By the time Ethan got home, nearly 2 hours had passed. His father was waiting on the porch. "Where were you?" Mark asked sharply. "That was a simple errand." Ethan had no answer. His throat tightened. He felt like he was letting everyone down. That night, after Ethan went to bed, his parents talked quietly in the living room. "He's not careless," Rachel said. "His mind just gets pulled in every direction, especially by screens." Mark sighed. "I don't know how to help him." After a moment, Rachel spoke again. "What about Dr. Harris, the retired professor who volunteers at the community center? People say he has a way of helping young people find direction." Mark nodded. "It's worth a try." The next day, they visited the community center near the river trail. Inside, the atmosphere was calm and quiet. Sitting near the window was an older man with silver hair and steady eyes, Dr. Harris. He listened carefully as Ethan explained everything: the distractions, the frustration, the feeling of failure. Dr. Harris didn't interrupt. When Ethan finished, he smiled gently. "You're not broken," he said. "Your mind is just untrained." He reached into his bag and pulled out a small stopwatch. "This," he said, "will be your tool." He placed it on the table and started the timer. "For 10 minutes a day, sit somewhere quiet. No phone, no music, just watch the seconds pass on the screen. Every time your mind wanders, gently bring it back." Ethan looked doubtful. "That's it," Dr. Harris nodded. "Focus is like a muscle. If you train it daily, it grows stronger." Ethan took the stopwatch home. That night, he tried. It was harder than he expected. His thoughts jumped constantly, but he didn't quit. And that was the beginning of everything changing. "Do this every night before you go to sleep," the mentor said calmly. "And do it again every morning when you wake up. Don't skip a single day. Come back and see me in 30 days. Ethan carefully picked up the object like it was something fragile and important. It wasn't a candle. It was a small mechanical stopwatch, scratched and old. He nodded seriously. "I will," Ethan said. "I promise." His parents thanked the mentor, their voices full of relief. For the first time in a long while, they felt hope. As they walked back to their apartment on the edge of town, Ethan kept the stopwatch in his hoodie pocket, his hand wrapped tightly around it. That night, in his small bedroom in a quiet suburb outside Columbus, Ohio, Ethan sat on his bed. He clicked the stopwatch and stared at it, counting every second in his head. Just 60 seconds, that was the exercise, but it was harder than he expected. Within seconds, his thoughts drifted. He thought about video games, he thought about school assignments, he thought about the noise from the street and his phone buzzing nearby. His mind kept running. Every time it did, he reset the stopwatch. 1 minute felt like an hour when he finally finished. He felt drained but also proud. He hadn't quit. The next morning, Ethan woke up before his alarm. He sat at his desk and tried again. It was still difficult, but something was different. He caught his thoughts faster. He reset less often. His mom watched quietly from the hallway. She didn't say a word, but her eyes filled with tears. Days turned into weeks. Some mornings were easy, others were frustrating. Some nights, Ethan wanted to throw the stopwatch across the room. But every time he felt like quitting, he remembered his parents' tired faces and the mentor's calm voice. Slowly, real change began. At school, Ethan, now 15 years old, found himself actually listening in class. He finished assignments without jumping between tabs when his dad asked him to run errands. He went straight there and came back without getting distracted. His father noticed. He didn't say anything. He just watched. 2 weeks in, something unexpected happened. In math class, the teacher asked a tough question. Normally, Ethan would stare at his desk and hope not to be called on. This time, he raised his hand. "I've got it," he said. He answered correctly. The room went quiet, then a few students clapped. Ethan felt something new rise in his chest. It wasn't pride, it was confidence. The real test came one afternoon when he walked past a basketball court. His friends were playing and shouted his name. In the past, he would have dropped everything. This time, he paused. "I'll play after I finish what I need to do," he said. They laughed. He didn't care. That small decision made him feel stronger than winning any game. After 4 weeks, Ethan and his parents returned to see the mentor, this time at a small public park near the river. The man smiled when he saw Ethan walk toward him, calmer and more grounded. So the mentor said, "How did it go?" Ethan spoke clearly. "The first week was rough. I wanted to quit. The second week got easier. By the third week, I could feel it. I can focus now. I finish things. I feel in control." The mentor nodded. "I didn't change you," he said. "You did. The stopwatch was just a tool." He leaned forward. "Your attention is your most valuable asset. If you control it, you control your life. If you don't, everything controls you." Ethan understood. Months passed. His habits stuck. When final exams came, Ethan sat calmly at his desk. Before starting, he closed his eyes for 1 second and imagined the ticking stopwatch. Then he began. No distractions. No panic. 2 weeks later, the results came in. Ethan had placed at the top of his grade. Teachers praised him. Classmates respected him. At home, his parents hugged him tightly. His dad's voice cracked. "I am proud of you, son." Years later, Ethan became a high school coach and mentor himself. Whenever a student struggled with focus, he shared his story and handed them a stopwatch. This isn't just Ethan's story, it's ours. We all want success, but most people never finish what they start, not because they lack talent, but because they lack focus. Start small. 1 minute, 1 habit, every day. A disciplined mind isn't born, it's built second by second. In 2026, this story mirrors real life more than ever. Because attention has become one of the most valuable and most stolen resources we have. With constant notifications, short-form videos, AI tools, and endless digital noise, most people don't fail due to lack of intelligence or opportunity, but because they can stay focused long enough to finish meaningful work. The lesson is simple and practical. Small, daily focus habits like intentionally working distraction-free for a few minutes can retrain the brain in a world designed to fragment it. In modern life, discipline isn't about working harder, it's about protecting your attention. Those who learn to control it will stand out, move faster, and build a life on their own terms.